Hello everyone! Today's video, as the title suggests, is about the sexual misconduct by Mr. Johnny Kitagawa of Johnny's Entertainment. One of the mysterious aspects of this news is that the Japanese media had known about his crimes for a long time, but never reported on them until it became a hot topic recently. I'll explain the background of how this situation escalated to such intense media coverage. I will refrain from going into the detailed contents of the sexual misconduct. You can easily find that information with a simple online search. Johnny's Entertainment is a historic company in Japan known for producing the country's top male idols with unparalleled domestic popularity. Mr. Johnny Kitagawa was the entrepreneur and producer who founded Johnny's Entertainment. He was a behind-the-scenes figure in the entertainment industry, and he extremely disliked being recognized in public. Therefore, there are very few public photos of him. Typically, photos of CEOs from major or well-known companies are available on company websites and in other materials, and the media usually have access to these photos for use. However, Johnny's Entertainment is said to have a strong grip on the media, causing many in the Japanese media to refrain from using his photos, fearing they might upset the company. Johnny's Entertainment's popularity in the Japanese media was immense. He was recognized by the Guinness World Records for producing the most #1 singles and most concerts. After his death, these records were removed. The reason for this removal, as stated by the Guinness World Records, is that in light of the investigative report, they judged the current situation as inappropriate for inclusion in their records. First and foremost, the news began receiving significant coverage in Japan after the BBC in the UK aired a special report on March 7, 2023, with the startling title, Predator, The Secret Scandal of J-Pop, addressing the sexual misconduct allegations against Mr. Johnny Kitagawa. In another development, Mr. Kawa Okamoto, a former performer at Johnny's Entertainment, held a revealing discussion on YouTube about the sexual abuse he endured from Mr. Kitagawa. Following this, a Japanese weekly magazine named Syukan Bunshu conducted an interview with Mr. Kawan Okamoto. This magazine also collaborated with the BBC in their investigation. Subsequently, on April 12, 2023, Mr. Kawan Okamoto is scheduled to hold a press conference at the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. This decision was made because he believed that if the issue were presented to major Japanese media, it would be ignored or suppressed, leading him to address foreign journalists directly. To briefly summarize the content of the announcement, he claimed that he had repeatedly endured sexual victimization from Mr. Kitagawa since he was 15 years old. As evidence, he mentioned possessing keys to Kitagawa's residence and having videos from the time of the incidents, which he has saved. Under Japanese law, a 15-year-old is considered below 18 and is treated as children. This was not just a simple issue of sexual victimization, but was a matter of sexual abuse towards children. This topic received significant attention on online media platforms. However, mainstream Japanese media, including television and newspapers, did not cover this topic. Were there not others who had come forward about sexual harassment at Johnny's Entertainment before now? The first expose came from a talent who debuted with Johnny's Entertainment in the 1960s and published a tell-all book in 1988. Apart from him, several others affiliated with Johnny's Entertainment have also published books revealing their experiences. In 1999, Syukan Bunshu, which had also cooperated with the BBC, ran a special feature for 14 weeks on the alleged sexual misconduct of Mr. Kitagawa. In 2003, a lawsuit claiming defamation against Johnny's Entertainment based on that article resulted in the Tokyo High Court recognizing the fact of sexual misconduct. The judgment was finalized by the Supreme Court in 2004. However, this news was never reported. The media refrained from covering it, possibly out of consideration for Mr. Kitagawa. Mr. Kitagawa passed away in 2019. Japanese TV stations and newspapers often have affiliations or partnerships with other companies, and the ties between each TV station's news department and national newspapers are strong. A possible reason for the lack of reporting is that Johnny's Entertainment talents have been top male idols from back then until now. Consequently, TV stations may have weighed the disadvantage of potentially losing exclusive rights to feature Johnny's Entertainment talents against the implications of reporting on Mr. Kitagawa's alleged misconduct. As a result, they chose not to report on it. Regarding Japanese law and sexual offenses, there was no update to the rape statutes from 1907 until 2017. One issue with the statutes as they stood was that they only recognized women as potential victims. This meant that sexual offenses committed against young boys did not fall under the category of rape, making it exceedingly difficult to prosecute such cases severely. While revisions in 2017 eliminated distinctions based on gender, allowing the law to recognize any individual as a potential victim regardless of gender, the law, unfortunately, still falls short compared to those in other countries. This is because, for a case to be established under this law, the presence of assault or intimidation is required. The mere fact that a person could not refuse was not enough to substantiate a charge. In contrast, in many other countries, the absence of consent is sufficient to bring charges for this offense. However, in Japan, one must prove the fact of assault or threat for the charge to stand. Moreover, the age of consent in Japan is notably low, set at 13 years old. In most developed countries, the orthodox age of consent ranges from 16 to 18 years old. The reason for this discrepancy is that the Japanese law, which has been in place since 1907, reflects the average lifespan and values of its original time of enactment. Due to the reasons mentioned above, it is challenging to prove Mr. Kitagawa's sexual offenses within the framework of criminal law. These issues have led to the perception of his actions as less of a severe sexual crime and more akin to entertainment industry scandals. How were Mr. Kitagawa's offenses carried out? Johnny's Entertainment only has training bases in Tokyo and Osaka. Consequently, victims from rural areas would stay at dormitories, resulting in their isolation from guardians. The rigorous dance lessons and busy schedules would further isolate them psychologically as communication with friends and guardians became infrequent. In a further step, Mr. Kitagawa would give secret gifts, particularly to those he favored, which included keys to his private residence. He would tell the recipients they could visit any time and use the place as they wished. The next step in this pattern involved receiving massages at his home. This would repeat several times, and without realizing it, the situation would transition into sexual offenses. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I will continue the explanation from that point up to the present in the next video. See you next time.